Around WrestleMania 8, there's so much going on. Like we kind of mentioned, Hogan possibly leaving. They kind of keep alluding to it being his last match, and obviously it changes. Like we mentioned a few times, changes from Flair to Sid. Did you really expect that to be Hogan's last match? Was this kind of the swan song for the Hulkster?
You never know. I didn't assume that was, and at the same time, I didn't assume that it definitely wouldn't be. When you reach the epitome of your profession, as has happened with Hulk and happened with Flair, and it's human nature. People like that got to that point because they were driven, had ambition, were self-motivated, and one natural thing was with movies. And Hulk did a couple movies where he got crossover exposure and notoriety for doing well in movies. So that was a natural thing that if you're a wrestling promoter and you have a guy that you're pushing who is a big talent, and then that talent only wants to work X number of days a month and he wants to make movies, that may be good for the talent if all of that works. But if you're in the wrestling business, you need a commitment from somebody that's basically a full-time wrestler.
Was Vince McMahon wanting something new in '92? Like, did he want to go away from Hulk Hogan? Was Hulk Hogan really going to Hollywood? And do you think the fans wanted like somebody different than Hogan at that point? It didn't seem like it, but what do you think from the inside? Did they want Hogan gone, and was Hogan willing to be gone?
Well, I mean, Hulk wanted to do other things, and when you're at the top of this business, I think it's common to want to expand and do other things. I saw it with Dusty. Dusty, when you become a main eventer and an icon star, with all the adjectives you want to use, when you reach that level, you can only go so high. Now you can say, okay, well, if you're a major star in Kansas City or something, if you go to New York, which has larger population centers in that geographic territory, that would be considered a step up. Where if you go there, which is why a lot of guys dreamed of the opportunity to go to New York, because if you're in Kansas City, your major town is Kansas City. But then once a month, St. Louis would run, which would be a big town, but it wasn't a weekly town. New York, if you worked in the New York territory, not only do you have Madison Square Garden every third week, but you have Boston, you have Providence, you have New Haven, you have Philadelphia, you have Pittsburgh, you have Washington, D.C. I mean, you got some big population centers that the chances of having venues where you could do well financially are much greater in the quote-unquote New York territory.